Going live. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I was expecting one more fellow. He emailed the other day. I thought for sure he'd be here today. Steven. So I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, and didn't he email yesterday or something?
Yeah, and he said something. And then this was confusing to me because on now it makes sense. But he said he still had the same live stream link from last week, and he was just going to click on that unless something was different. And so I didn't know whether or not that worked, And so that's
And after I saw your email like 20 minutes ago or something, I did do the make the new calendar appointment with the StreamYard link, so he should have it in his email now.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
in case that messed up, and really all the 10 people that are in the email list could theoretically still come. And
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that worked that way. He did. He made it sound like he wanted to be here for this meeting this week. He mentioned that he was going through a lot of our history and stuff and learning about what we're doing and wanted to be here this week. So I'm quite surprised he's not here. Maybe he might show up yet, though. Who knows?
Yeah. He may not have just gotten the email yet.
Yeah, maybe not.
Or checked it. So
yeah.
Anyway, so I got my server rebuilt, and I'm in the process of resetting up Drupal and PHPB to get the skinning done and get everything set up so we can go to 2.0 on the design factor at least.
Okay.
I will be working on that on my days off over this next week here. I've been off all week. Obviously, I didn't get anything done for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So I will get working on it again. Please forgive my delay on that. It was not intentional by any means.
Well, Edward, this is all just volunteer, and we do it when we can, and there's no push for anything.
We got somebody here. I'm going to let him in. I'm pretty sure it's the person we're thinking of. Yep. Steven?
Good morning. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Steven.
Sorry, I was figuring out AirPods.
Well,
that's cool. We all have technical troubles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Tech is just trouble for me.
Yeah. Tech itself is the trouble.
Yeah. So what's your cup say, Mr. Edward?
Not my gumdrop buttons.
Oh, nice. Can you do the voice?
Well, I don't know, donkey, but I think we'll give it a try.
I want to understand what's going on. Show me the cup again.
He's impersonating Shrek.
My nickname for my grandson is Papa Shrek.
Yeah,
I'm Papa Shrek. Nice. I'm not Grandpa. I'm Papa Shrek. It all stems from my wife's ex-husband trying to be a smart ass and trying to get a digger on me, and told my daughter to call me Shrek, and I just came back with okay, donkey.
Oh my goodness!
And it just became a family. It just became a family joke that we just went ahead and absorbed, and
it so neutralizes the insult.
Right, that's the best part of it, right?
Yep,
that was the whole point.
Yeah,
I call that anti-trolling.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna find a way to cover up this glare because I'm blinded. I'm sure you guys are blinded by me.
Yeah.
Usually we have 3 people, and my window is narrower, and it hides my stupid bed. So let me see if I can do it like this. That just shows another.
It just shows the mess on the other side.
Another one.
Doesn't matter.
This is my wife's office one. This is my first time ever using it for anything.
So maybe we'll have as soon as Steven's ready, maybe we'll have him just tell us a little about himself here.
Yeah, look left, Larry.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
If I step back a little bit, it's okay.
That's no big deal.
Yeah, no big deal.
I'm getting blinded.
Well,
not that that's a big deal either. That's really selfish of me. But whatever. Morning.
So you want to start by maybe telling us a little bit about yourself, Stephen?
Sure. What would you like to know, Charles or Brian?
Where are you? Where are you located?
Born, raised here in North Texas. I understand. I'm talking to a couple of Canadians.
Yeah.
And then
now we have too many Texans.
Illinois and another Texan.
All right. You're in Texas too, Edward?
Yeah.
Yes,
Where
I
you
am.
at?
I'm in deep East Texas.
Okay, I'm over here in the Metroplex.
Oh, yeah. See, I'm down here around Nacogdoches.
Okay.
About 3 hours away from you.
Beautiful down there. Yeah, I'm in North Richland Hills, which is just about, 20 minutes north of Fort Worth. Little fun fact. Bonnie and Clyde started a killing spree like 2 miles from where I am right now.
Oh, wow.
So I got
that is a fun fact. That is a fun fact.
I like to throw it in when people come in to visit because they're like, "What is there to do here?" I was like, "Well, I could show you where Bonnie and Clyde killed a couple of police officers."
Do you say that because you model part of your worldview after them?
No, I'm pacifist now, but I did grow up here, and then my father was Air Force, or my stepfather was Air Force, and I joined the Marine Corps.
I was just kidding. I have no idea what their worldview is, but I know they're like murderers.
I think theirs
right?
was just have a good time, and I think they're straight hedonists. They must have been.
I don't even know the story. Was there any killing involved? There's a killing spree. Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah. They were basically.
It became a nationwide manhunt
and just started running.
That's part of how they got famous. That's what they did first. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, that's where I'm at, and then I'm back in my hometown after having spent some time in the Marine Corps, stationed in Florida, North Carolina, California, Iraq, Afghanistan.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Thank you for your
Appreciate
service.
that. Thank you. But after 8 years of that, I was doing construction and welding, and I'm a union iron worker down here. And,
I'm a welder too. I'm in the welding field.
I noticed that. I did see that. I even see your leathers there hanging on the wall behind you.
Yeah.
But
I didn't notice that. Okay.
Well,
I noticed. I just didn't say anything.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
I don't know anything about
dirty
welding.
brown leathers. They're not black leathers, so I don't think he's doing anything we don't want to see.
I'm more of a fitter than a welder. I mostly fit parts together and stuff like that.
Sure.
I'm not a good welder.
Just about all of it, and I can do about all of it, and I can do most of it upside down on a skyscraper too.
Yeah.
So I did that for a while. Put my wife through her college, and now she supports the family, and I stay home with the kids.
Yeah.
So plenty of time for conspiracy theories and studying and reprogramming my mind, and it's pretty much where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
How did you guys meet, you and Brian?
He said something to me on Facebook that was kind of cryptic, and I was like, yeah, or not Facebook, on Reddit, and I was like, yeah, I'm totally in. I think he said, come hear about us, but only if you like direct democracy. I was like, I mean, I love direct democracy. I love the thought of it. So, I mean, like I said,
That's what brought me in.
Yeah, I'm in this age of learning and open-mindedness that I haven't been in most of my life. And all answers are good answers right now. No learning is bad learning.
I'm really happy that you're a pro-democracy person. I think most people don't realize that actually the majority of people are not actually pro-democracy. That's been my kind of experience with it.
The people who even claim to be pro-democracy.
Yeah. They're not actually for majority rule. They're more for what do you call it? A republic more than a democracy, where they want they want what they think are the smart
They
people in
think
control.
people are too stupid to rule their own lives, I guess.
Yeah, yes.
And so basically, they mean only the smart people should be running the democracy.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what the smart people want you to think. But
yeah,
I would say that language has largely been overrun with legal jargon. It's not a language anymore. So when you say something like democracy or communism or republic, they had simple meanings if you look like the Greek and Latin prefixes and roots, but how we use them today are simply, labels are
treatment.
They're treatments put on big people to keep them separated, because we don't know what overall republic or democracy means, but if we can argue about it, then we're not talking about what we have in common.
A lot of propaganda.
Yeah. I just came across a guy who posted on the Democracy Subreddit, and he's a professor in I think it was Sweden or Norway or someplace, and but he's American, and but he's working at a university there as a professor. And anyway, he's been posting about democracy, and he explains it very, very well. That even right at the beginning, when Jefferson and what's his name there, Washington and all these people, when they started democracy, when they started the American democracy, there was very little emphasis on democracy itself. It was all far more about the republic, and only certain people were allowed to be involved. And anyway, I should actually send a link to you guys, because this guy really impressed me with what he knows about it, and what he really thinks the views were at the time. And I don't think they've really changed. I don't think many people are really, like the idea of democracy at all. And his point was that even the founding fathers were not really pro-democracy, not like we expect what a democracy is, And he has some really, he's done a bunch of videos. I looked at one. There's a new movie, new documentary out right now about Washington, and it was done by this famous, I wish I had his name, documentarian, and he's done a lot of really well done documentaries. Like one of the ones most recently was on Vietnam.
Ken Burns?
Yes. Yeah, Ken Burns? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
So he just did one on Washington. And this guy gives a critique on his version of things, and says that he's very much just he's portraying Washington in the sense that people from about the 1950s looked at how that all took place, but they were wrong, and that the real perspective is that there was not their focus was not very much on participation from the public at all. Yeah. And it was very much about the landowners and the rich, and very much controlling everything above everybody else. And anyway, I can't really explain it very well. I might actually email you guys a link, because I found it very educational.
I think if you could find it now, even if it took a couple minutes, and you could put it in the chat. Then people watching this later could then go watch it too. Yeah,
right after this, I'll do it. It'll, for me, it would be difficult to do.
We won't see it then, because it's not here.
Okay. Is there a couple things on the chat here right now?
Yeah, I just put in a couple of definitions for the things we were discussing.
Oh, okay.
Stephen, why don't you go ahead and make mention what those are, because our public viewers can't see our private chat.
Okay, well then how about I copy it and I put it in.
Put it as a comment, yeah.
Into a comment.
Yeah, put it as a comment.
Yeah. And I'll put it on the screen. Once you do that, I can put it on the screen.
Okay. Let me see if I can find the other stuff here.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Brian's using his phone, so when he does something else on his phone, it goes black.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
well,
still there.
it
He's
looks like
just not visible.
Yeah, I'm listening. I can hear everything.
If Rami, if you can put it onto the comments, I'm having a hard time linking with YouTube right now.
Okay.
But if you could copy from the private chat into the comments, if that's important.
I think it would help. I think it would allow people to see what you're putting up, and they can understand things a little better.
Well, definitely. And also, I think that if we're all having discussions from these multiple walks of life, the shared definition is important.
Oh yeah. What I think's neat is I'm looking at those. When you look at those two, they're both meaning the same thing for the most part.
Right. That's what caught my attention, is that the Greek word for republic also means democracy. But if you look at the word in its Latin form, res publica, it just means something different. So even now, modern Greek and ancient Greek says something different. So modern Greek is the new Hellenic Republic, whereas in ancient Greek of Plato, it was republic was simply referred to as affairs of city-state or constitution. So it was, we talk about democracy as the people, whereas the republic would be the state, and together they make the overall idea of democracy. If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, where'd Brian go? Is he finding the link?
He's trying to find that link, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. I tried to go to YouTube, and it's saying something. I'm getting a message. I have to clear space on my phone, and it's not allowing me to do anything in YouTube. I don't know why. So I'm trying to go to Democracy Subreddit. Here we are. See if I can find where the guy posted here.
Uh-oh, we lost him.
I can hear you still.
Sure did. Yeah, we lost Steven.
We lost Steven.
Oh, Steven. Okay.
I had a thought while he was posting. I had a thought while he was posting these things. When people are thinking about these kind of things, democracy and the people that say that some people, I guess, shouldn't be voting. In a family scale, I can imagine a parent saying that about their one-day-old child. The one-day-old child doesn't need to be voting. Actually, they literally cannot. And actually, you find our societies, all of them, pretty much, I think, they view babies as not fully human yet.
Right.
Which is weird because
it is very weird because they eventually become what we are. And the way they're able to become what we are is that they were fully human. That's how they got there. So it is really weird to dehumanize babies the way pretty much the whole world does. I don't know who doesn't.
It's also super weird to dehumanize babies.
The founding fathers.
Choice versus how they treat them for, how they use children and embryo as an argument in procreation and pro-choice, pro-life arguments. So it's another example of what's that calling here? Hypocrisy.
Brian, real quick about this link you just gave me. What do I need to write in front of it as a full comment?
So that's this is this fellow's criticism. It's a YouTube link, and it's his criticism of the founding fathers, like how they set things up very anti-democratically. And so that's one video he has. And then if you go through his history, he has a bunch of videos posted. And there's the next one down the line is where he critiques that documentary by Ken Burns. And so anyway, both of those I found very educational and very much, to me, things have not really changed And I think the attitudes are very similar to what he's describing in these videos about what people really think about democracy. And so I found him very informative in this way. I sent him an email. I looked up, he's got a website, and I sent him an email. Now, I haven't heard anything back yet, but I'm kind of hoping that I might get something back from him. That was just yesterday, I think, that I sent him an email. So it's I've a little time here. And so anyway, I'm really hoping that we can get some kind of conversation going with him.
Okay.
So I'm still trying to do the one little small task. Can you look in the private chat? Is that what you meant?
All the articles or the...
Yeah. Yes, I think that's a good description.
Okay. But you mentioned a second link, and what second link did you mean?
Well, I could see if I can find that one. The second link is a criticism of the Ken Burns documentary that just came out. And I haven't... I'll see if I can find it.
You haven't got the link for that, okay.
You know what? Hey, why don't you tell me what you're looking for, Brian? I'm on a computer and I can find this stuff. I'd like to keep you on the camera. Keep you.
All right, hold on.
So these meetings, they're, you could say, primarily trying to get KAOS off the ground, make a team so we can build KAOS. But secondarily, or maybe it's equally, it's also just discussion about democracy in general.
Mm-hmm.
Because part of what we're trying to do is build steam, getting people into KAOS, but more generally, getting people to care about democracy. And we mean, of course, in the way that we think is the right way, rather than all the bad ways.
Sure. I think I found what you were talking about. It's from Tad Sturmer, Ken Burns' American Revolution is 1950s History for 2026.
Yeah, yes. I just provided the link there on the chat. Okay. So yeah, that's the one on his critique of that Ken Burns thing.
What should I write about that one?
I could just say it's a critique of the Ken Burns documentary. Do you remember what the documentary is called?
Yeah,
Anybody?
The Revolution. Yeah, Ken Burns' American Revolution.
Ken Burns' American Revolution, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's his critique on it, because Ken Burns, as he explains in the video, Ken Burns has a very 1950s outlook of what the people thought of the revolution at that time, but he doesn't feel it's an accurate portrayal. And,
okay.
And
well,
so,
I like both of those.
Yeah. So
Tad Sturmer and Ken Burns are both really... I really like listening to what they have to say.
I do like the Ken Burns documentaries. I've always been very impressed by them. I'm looking forward to seeing this one, but I'll be looking at it with a bit of an idea, a grain of salt, because of how I think he has a bit of a very Americanized and very idealistic views of the founding fathers, right?
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, this all points to the fact that democracy is, like I like to say about this, democracy is not as popular as people seem to think it is, and this is what makes it very difficult for things like what we're trying to do. Promoting democracy is not a popular thing to do, and so. Our hope here with our group is to be able to put together this KAOS system. And I think the real beauty of the KAOS system is that it should work where it just grows virally, and not because people are trying are not going to use it because they're promoting democracy. They're going to use it because it's a useful tool in their lives, and because people like to complain. I like to call it the world's biggest complaint department. And so people do love to complain. It's to me, that's what the real driving force behind things like the original Twitter was all about, was people just like to complain. And so there's that gave them a place to do it. And in Twitter, you're kind of complaining to certain groups of people, whereas KAOS is you complaining to the world. And it's you're trying to speak to the entire world. So anyway, I expect it to kind of grow virally, and it doesn't have to. Nobody using it is going to be thinking I'm doing this to support democracy. They're going to be thinking I'm doing this because I have something to say, and that's why they'll use it. And yeah, I don't believe that there's a lot of people try to build things to help the way we're governing, and there's been lots of different websites and programs and things that people have tried to put together, and they can't get participation because it's very difficult to get people to participate in your standard political websites and things like this.
Sure.
I always like to point out the biggest example I've seen is I don't know if many people here are familiar with the Pirate Party, but quite a few years ago, maybe 10, 20 years ago, there was quite a trend in different countries to start a pirate party. There was one in Britain. I think there was one that tried to start here in Canada. I don't know if there was one in the States, but there was one that started in Iceland. And I think that maybe they started the whole thing in Iceland. And they actually won. There were several people that won seats in Parliament. They're the only ones where anybody won, anybody working one of these type of angles of getting more getting their whole thing was they would set up a website, and everything that they were going to vote on. If you elected this person in, they would put everything on the website, and you could vote on the things they were going to vote on, and they were going to use that information to decide how they were going to vote. So they were basically going to listen to their people and copy what their people told them to do.
Now, when it was referendum.
Yes, so like everything's a referendum, yes. So that's what they proceeded to do when the Pirate Party started, and when they actually won. They won a couple of seats in Iceland, and they tried to do this. But they got so little participation. It was less than 1% of their population that they were trying to represent that participated. Even though these people put them into power, they did not participate on the website. And so
who didn't participate on the website?
What's that?
I'm sorry, who didn't participate on the website? The people,
the people that voted them into power. The people
really?
that actually they got them elected because they liked the idea. But they did not participate when these people put all these different things they have to make decisions on. They put it on their website.
Some people did, but it wasn't enough of a threshold, right?
That's right. It was less than 1%.
Less than 1%.
Yeah, so that was not a good enough representation for them to use that information to represent the people. That's not a good representation.
Too small.
The sample is too small.
So the project died. Did they kill the website or?
Yeah, well, they had to put out a statement. They put out a public statement saying that they could not use that data to make their decisions, and therefore they were reverting back to the same way every other elected official does it, by basically trying to guess what the people wanted and using their own, ideas on how things should work. And,
what do you think about that decision? Do you think they should have done that, or just committed to the 1%? Representation.
You can't commit to the 1%.
But that is a good question, though. What should they have done? I mean, just off the top of my head, coming out and making that statement saying this is too small of a sample pool. That's open.
Well, don't you think they should have thought of that before they even did it? And they should have said, if we don't meet a threshold of X, then so and so. They didn't think of that.
Well, even if they had or didn't, everything was growing every day.
They were just expecting, since they got elected in, that people would participate.
Right. But if they come out and make these statements after the fact, every time that they're basically essentially putting out these referendums, and every time they come back and say, I still don't have a sample large enough to make the decision, well, then it should be conditioning the people to get involved. So
yes.
The question
are they trying again?
Yeah. I think they did. I think they were constantly retrying it, and they just wasn't getting there. So, I'm not sure, but I think some of those people are still in power. They're still in their positions. The people do like them. But so
anyway,
that's
the same setup that we had with the Tea Party here in the States.
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, did they offer to put everything up online and people could participate? Is that what they did?
Yeah. They managed to get 1% of the United States population to go for it, and it has blossomed into MAGA.
Yeah, but they don't put they don't hold referendums on everything.
No, they don't hold referendums on anything.
Yeah, on anything. Yeah.
I think maybe you're right with. I think maybe you're correct in that statement when you're talking about Donald Trump's first term. I mean, he was strictly a populist vote, but this last time around, there's all suggestions are showing that this is a hijacked administration.
Yeah,
and I agree with it.
I think that's the difference. That would have been a true statement if you were only talking about the first populist election.
Yeah.
But
now they got grab hold on, and it's just been pushing.
Yeah.
Well, I think part of it is the whole, at least in America, I can't speak for British Columbia or anything, but the whole American spectrum has skewed to the right. You can look at Kamala Harris's policies and Joe Biden's policies; they're nearly identical to George W. Bush.
Yeah.
20 years ago, nobody would have voted for a person like Kamala Harris as a Democrat saying those things.
Yeah.
So
I just wish we could get rid of the divide. I mean, we need to get our Congress to stop
I
this
think that's where we're getting to, though, is
bias and work together.
When I heard that even, the Democratic Party just voted to kind of outlaw any references to socialism. I can't remember exactly how they.
It's. I mean, they can vote on it and say so, but it's all political theater. It doesn't mean anything.
Oh, it is absolutely. It's political theater.
They're throwing out socialism and communism, and I don't think they even know what the terms are anymore.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
You know.
I'll find those.
It was, I don't know, it's kind of off topic, but that was quite the theater going on with Mondani and Trump, at the White
Tell me
House.
what you think about that.
What's that?
Yeah, now they're talking.
Yeah.
Someone tell me what you think about that.
Well, myself personally, I think it's great that they're talking. I'm all for talking to everybody. I don't think anybody should ever be taken out of the conversation. So,
if it was up to Brian, we would still have Hitler. He'd be in jail, and Brian would be talking to him across the bars.
Yeah.
Going. So tell me, why did you think that was a good idea?
Yeah. I'm all for we're talking to everybody, and I don't think it's a good idea to shut people out of the conversation or stop communicating with people.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you, but I mean, if you go back to human history, all the way to the beginning of wearing caves. It used to be we were in a family group, a tribal group, something. We all lived in the same cave together.
Yeah.
If Rami had some bad chili the night before, we'd all know about it, right? It wasn't like Rami had to be embarrassed and be like, "Oh, sorry guys, I'm not making it in today." We were living together.
You've been talking to my kids? What's going on here now?
Well, yeah, I mean, I know how to hack your camera right there behind you. But the point is we were so intimately evolving and living together before, and ever since then, with every step of the creation of technology, it's like you said, Brian, that almost never has an advance in technology, even if it's been well meant, good intentions, they almost always turn into a form of control.
Yeah.
And so the further we get from that, we go from being in the same cave together to now I live in a box and I drive a box and I'm looking at a box to go work at another box, and then I come back in that fancy box and I'm sitting here and I wave to people getting out of their boxes, and that's it. Even now I'm looking at you guys, we're in boxes, but we don't need to be. And so same thing, if you're taking people's voice away, or if you're keeping someone from the table, you're denying your neighbor.
Yeah.
And I mean, Rami and Brian and Edward, you may not be my next door neighbor, but you are representative of somebody in my neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And we cannot keep that from the table because there's no peace. There's no living.
So what the other guys think, what I think they would say about what we're all saying here is there's some types of comments, some things people say that we need to force underground. Meaning, I mean, the way they say it is like, you know, like I've heard people say they're against the concept of canceling, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But then within the same paragraph, they'll say, "But that guy needs to be canceled."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This cancel culture stuff's ridiculous.
And it's almost like they're saying cancel culture is fine as long as you use it on the right thing. Which, by the way, I have some sympathy for that argument in general because I use it for like guns.
Yeah.
Like guns in general, we shouldn't use them to shoot each other. But I can see a case where I should because somebody's shooting at me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what do you think of using that argument about guns on the cancel culture thing?
Well, it's not as deadly as a gun, though. I mean, it's like sticks and stones may break my bones, but you know, words shouldn't hurt you, and you shouldn't. You know, it's not the same. It's not the same caliber. You have to let comments roll off your back, I think, and not take it personally.
Yeah, I think people need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yes. Yes.
We can't have conversations if nobody's allowed to be uncomfortable. And
that's right.
If you're going straight to offense and you're going straight to violence and trying to make it even or retribution or however you want to phrase it, unfortunately the tools have gotten to guns. But it used to be like you and me could just go out and slap box each other for a minute and then go inside and be like, yeah, it's okay. We understand each other.
Yeah.
But
I'm still listening. I gotta mute and go get my dog.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, you getting her, hun? Okay, the wife's going to get her. She went out for a cigarette and left the dog outside.
The next argument these people make is, well, now that we have AI and AI bots, some of those horrible types of comments that these people want to be silenced, they say, well, now AI, you know, with one person with some bad ideas could get a whole team of AI bots to spread this horrible message and infect other people.
Yeah.
So now, so what do you say to someone like that?
Well, that's to me, that's the whole reason we want to build the KAOS system, is because we want to be able to identify, you know, especially with the people that are identifying themselves, we'll know that they're not bots and they're only speaking for themselves. And I think this is critical at this stage, that we be able to identify real people from bots and be able to tell where their voices are coming from. You know, to be able to tell if they're all from Russia or all from China or if they're speaking or you're talking to fellow Americans or what have you, right? So,
did you see Elon Musk just turned off the locations feature on Twitter?
Yeah, I heard something about that.
So if you flip, you know, if you toggle through a user on Twitter, and then they have like their profile that explains, you know, where they can put essentially their biography up. Well, a lot of the MAGA influencers, and I forget which number it is. It seems kind of, I'm trying to find it right now. But a large percentage of like the Twitter users engaged on the MAGA side and the MAGA propaganda is coming from bots out of like Russia, Cambodia, Philippines, like, so I mean, folks,
North Korea probably, yeah.
I was just reading an article this morning
showing there was one on, I think
I'm still confused with what the Elon Musk thing was. Is he trying to stop the bots, or he did something to make it easier for the bots?
He's trying to hide the fact that the bots are coming from other countries.
Oh. To
the people that these bots are influencing, like you said, taking and repeating these images or these speaking points, and like you said, it's one bad actor. It could be, you know, I mean, like the Bitcoin farms, they have those for bots too.
Yeah. So
it could be one guy in a room this size of a bot farm, and they're just interacting with each other. And
propaganda is a lot more ezy to spread now with AI. Is the point?
It is a lot easier to spread with AI. guy, but on top of it, we have the bad actors and the oligarchy who wants to hide the fact that that's what's happening.
Yes,
So,
that's right.
Well, they're the ones, pretty much, the ones advocating or wanting or spreading that.
Pretty much straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the more general topic I'm trying to get. Who was trying to speak?
I was just talking that, and this is the point of the KAOS system, is that we can tell who we're talking to, where they are, whether or not they're bots or what have you, trying to influence the conversation, and it's vital. I was another person I've been speaking to this week was a guy that he talks about a concept in psychology called mirroring, and mirroring is where like a therapist will talk about the experience that you had, and basically telling you what you're actually feeling. They're not. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to explain it very well. But the point that he was making was that we all have to be working from the same page of information. We all, right now, people are getting, in their certain bubbles they get into, they're getting the idea that there's, all these, from things like immigration or things that bother you seem blown out of proportion. No matter what it is that's bothering you as an individual, right? If you're worried about fascism, it seems like fascism is everywhere. If you're worried about immigrants, it seems like immigrant influence is everywhere. If you're worried about Muslims, it seems like Muslims are everywhere, and influencing everything. And nobody's on the same page as far as what is really going on in the world, how much these things are influencing our world. And so we need a base of information that we can trust. And this is just such a big ordeal, a big deal, that we don't have this base of information. We're all getting different ideas on what we think everybody else is thinking, but we're way off, A conservative will think that everybody is worried about immigration, when it may not be that much of that many people that are that worried about it. Or it might be, or a liberal might be thinking everybody thinks that what do you call them? Fascism is a huge problem, and they think everybody else is on that same page, when most of the people may not think it's that big a deal. We all got to get the same base of information to work off of. And without that, it's really hard to. So basically, it's a mirror of our society, showing us what our society actually looks like and what people are actually thinking. And so I can't emphasize that enough, that we're getting further and further away from that. And it's becoming more. When we only had three TV stations and 3 different news sources, that. Are you guys getting a lot of background noise? I'm getting a ton of background noise right now.
Sorry, I'm typing. I'll turn off the microphone.
Oh.
Yeah, it's from Steven.
Yeah, the background noise is coming from you, Steven. It sounds like a humidifier or something.
Yeah, there's
right
something
next
going
to
on there. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's really important that we get all on the same page as what we believe that is what we all have the same idea of what everybody else is thinking, and so anyway, I can't get away from that enough. I think that's the biggest focus that we should be on right now, and that is the biggest source of why everybody thinks that everything is just going haywire. I don't know if you agree, but everybody to me seems to be on the one thing we all agree on is that everything is just going crazy. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I would agree.
Yeah,
I would agree. I mean, we've totally pulled away our focus from what we need to focus on. We're more, at least here in the States. I can't say up in Canada or anything like that, but here in the States, the division is so strong against one party thinking they're better than the other party.
Yeah.
Nobody's better than anybody else. We need to come together and we need to work our problems out and fix it.
Yeah.
This BS of, I'm better than you are because you're a liberal and I'm a conservative. it don't work that way. We got to get rid of the political divide in order to successfully bring us back together and get things progressing properly.
And well, and the biggest part of that is starting off from the same base of information. You know,
right.
These conservatives,
where we come in.
You know, the conservatives think that everybody thinks the same as they do, and the liberals think that everybody thinks the same as they do. And we have to find out where people actually are, what they are actually thinking, right? And have good data to work with, right?
Right.
That's the biggest point there.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure, Stephen.
In all this discussion about using technology as essentially a referendum and everything else, I think one of the things that we're overlooking is the idea that our interactions with technology is in fact surveillance. If anyone is familiar with the concept of a panopticon, we've been living in a digital panopticon since at least 2008 with the advent of Facebook, and before that MySpace, and everything from there is just growing. And I can say that because in construction I've built these data centers, and if you haven't seen them, the upstairs is essentially a giant evaporation system, upstairs football field size air conditioner to keep all the data racks downstairs cold. So, and they cost millions and billions of dollars to build these campuses. And so if data and all this information that we input into the system is it's not a tangible thing, but it's worth so much that it's financing these sorts of things. So that means to me, we are not interacting with a social media platform. We are in fact the chattel. We are in fact what is being sold, because the people who have access to all this information, they know that we don't actually have a party line. They know these things. Yeah. We are kept from knowing these things because we're divided. We're kept arguing about what sides we're on. Meanwhile, we're sitting and arguing all around the center of it, and the guys who are in the middle with all the power, they're sitting there watching it and being like, it's working. Let's keep going. How do we make it even more efficient?
If I could add to that, my concern is not so much that they're monitoring me. My concern is that they are misinterpreting me. I want to be able to tell them what I want and how I see the world. And I want to make sure that they are clear on the message that I want to put out. I want to be in control of what they think, what I'm putting out in the world. I want some control over that. You want
some control over how it's being...
How I'm being portrayed.
Consumed by decision makers?
Yeah, by anybody.
Well, as an example, when a poll goes out and they ask what they think is a representative set of people some question, I wasn't given the option to be in that poll. That is a type of thing I would like to control.
Right. You got to be in the room.
I want to be in the room.
Yeah, let me in the room, exactly, on the table.
And that's how I've got the website set up. It's so these people can sit there and say their piece about these problems or suggestions or whatever, and then hopefully the leaders will actually start seeing this and saying, "Hey, this is what the people are thinking."
Yeah, I want an accurate. I want an accurate portrayal of what I'm thinking, and I think I want an accurate portrayal from everybody else. And I don't want them guessing on this. I want to be able to tell them.
And all right, follow-up question. Then I have two of them. One is, what does the practical organization of this look like? I think part of the reason the failure of our democracy now is that, at least in the United States and possibly in Canada, it's a huge population. How are we expected to think that one person or a handful of a couple hundred elected officials can accurately have that information at the right level? Not necessarily just nationally, but your municipal levels, your county levels, your community levels.
With the AI we have available to us today, I think it's quite easy for them now to, if we had proper information out about everybody, and not everybody's giving all the information about everything. We're not going to participate in every type of voting thing or what have you. but at least
No, of course.
So my only point is that right now they're using Twitter and Facebook and other social networks to get an idea of what the people are saying, but they're getting a terrible picture. It's not accurate at all. So all we need to do, or the best we can hope to do, is to provide better information than what they're getting now. Nobody's going to vote on everything. That's never going to happen. But we can at least get better idea of what people are thinking. It's never going to be perfect. But politicians right now are using social media to measure public opinion.
Absolutely.
It's giving them really bad pictures. It's not good information, right?
Right.
So,
I think they're using it for public relations, which is designed by the same person who coined propaganda.
Yes.
It's just what purpose is it for?
So can we get back to that? What I was trying to do in the last couple of times that I talked.
Sorry.
Is I'm trying to bring to this discussion what our detractors say, and trying to understand what our detractors say better, so that we can form better arguments against that, or let ourselves be convinced.
I'm of the mind that you don't need to argue anything. I think perfect example. I think what we saw with Zohran Mamdani and Donald Trump was you finally got Donald Trump one-on-one with a person who was not a yes person.
Yeah.
And Zohran Mamdani, whether you like him or not, he is listening to people. He actually talks to people. He was walking the streets and doing his thing. That's how he did it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, he's collecting direct information, what people want, just like we're discussing here. But when he finally got in the room with Trump took just 180 degrees, right? They went and they come out in their one-on-one meeting and they're talking cordially. And he's like, well, I think he's going to do great. I really want him to do great. We actually agree on a lot of the same things. What I think probably happened in that room, and what probably is the same thing that I try to do when I'm engaging politically, is I don't need you to believe what I believe. I need you to question for a moment that you might be misunderstood or wrong about what you think you know.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's not about me being right. It's about you being open-minded.
Yeah. And it's also about where they overlap. You know,
there's always an overlap.
There's always an overlap, and you got to get down to where you overlap and work on the things that you both agree on. You know, there's not enough housing. Everybody knows there's not enough housing. They can get on the same page about that, right? They may have different ideas on how to solve it, but at least they can identify that as a problem together.
They got a foundation.
I think you keep asking questions about what a person believes in or what a person cares about until you find common ground. It can be one thing.
And there's common ground. Everybody has common ground. A communist and a fascist can get together and they can find common ground. There's no doubt about that in my mind.
And even if it's just that one issue, that's a tangible, focused thing that two people can cooperate on. And when people cooperate, that's when they find more in common.
Yeah.
You know, we're tribalized now. We're meant to believe that we're different from each other. And
that's right.
We're unique from each other. That's true, but we're not different.
And that's exactly what technology is doing right now. It's amplifying where we disagree, and nobody's seeing the overlap. Nobody's seeing the overlap, right? That's where we got to create systems that we see the overlap more than we see the differences.
So does this answer your question, Rami, or are we on the right track?
Well, I disagree with you that we don't need to tell them anything. I think what we need to tell them is basic things that, and by the way, I guess I wasn't clear on which part of the detractor argument I'm talking about.
Yeah, please.
The people that want to implement silencing, systematic hiding of information because they think it is, in their words, I hear them say things like hate speech.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know that I hear them saying the word propaganda. Do they say that word?
So I mean,
I think so.
On where you're at.
Oh yeah.
So they think, I'm going to use the word propaganda now as the main one because hate speech is just so vague. I think what they mean is, I think when they even say the word hate speech, the people that do the hate speech, don't they recognize them as like lying to serve a certain goal, or not? Or do they see people who say hate speech as they really do believe all that stuff and there's no lying in what they're saying?
I think a lot of it is there's no lying in what they're saying.
Who do you mean when you say they? Who do you mean by they?
They is all the people that think we should have cancel culture, systematic silencing of everything, of not everything, the things they think.
Well,
I think what he's trying to do is he's talking. We're talking about people who want to cancel, or who are of a cancel culture, wherever that may be, versus the people that they want to cancel. And then this specific topic, we're talking about hate speech. Correct?
I don't know. Maybe my question is too vague, but
no, it's not too vague. I'm just trying to define that. We're talking about people who want to cancel speech that they classify as hate speech, or they feel as hate speech, by people who are committing hate speech. And do those people believe what they're saying, or what was the other option?
What I'm trying to understand, part of this is, when the people are saying, hey, we want to stop hate speech, do they think that some of them are at least fully believing what they're saying, versus, oh, they're just saying propaganda to get a certain political goal?
Well, I think it's both.
Some of both?
Yeah. I think you're talking about tiers of people. You're talking about class consciousness.
And either way, they want to silence the hate speech.
Yeah.
You're talking about class
spread more. So that it doesn't spread more, right?
Yeah.
My problem I have with this is, for any system that is collecting data, collecting people's opinions, that system itself would have to, well, I guess, infallibly know which comment counts as propaganda or not, or which comment counts as hate speech or not. And I don't think there is such a thing that could happen, a system that could infallibly know these things.
I disagree.
No.
You disagree? Go ahead.
Well, what you're talking about, you're essentially we're talking about the same thing. We're talking about, I'm using the panopticon as an example, where the theory behind that is you become self-regulating to social norms, because you never know who's watching, or when they're watching, or how many people. I'll put a link in here for the idea of it. But then you're talking about self-censorship and what's okay, and how will it be filtered through the conversation? Will it be present? Will it be censored? Is that what you're asking? Because I think everything, if it's true direct democracy, everything is going to be self-regulating.
You mean each individual is regulating themselves?
Right. Yeah. I mean, look at on Reddit. If you get downvotes, people stop commenting. If people get upvotes, they continue.
I think this is just a more modern version of an older thing. Should we ban the Hitler book, or should we ban the Quran? And I think we shouldn't ban those things.
Correct.
But it seems like these cancel culture people do think that we should ban some stuff, like the Quran or like the Hitler book.
I just like to point out that when you talk about cancel culture people or use these types of terms, it makes us think that you're talking about the liberal side. Now, there's cancel culture on both sides. They just don't use the same terms, right?
It's happening on Twitter now. One topic, one big main topic. Anything about Israel, Twitter is acting a certain way. Anything about Israel-Palestine, it's totally siding with Israel. Anything that's criticizing Israel is like shunned. Yes. And that's the right. That's the right side of the spectrum, and they're doing cancel culture.
Good example though is who controls what you see in that specific example of Twitter. Because I think it's a class consciousness thing. There's the wealthy and academic elites who control basically the roadmap of what we see and do. Whether it's through technology or
And here's how it happens in a concrete case. Israel, the government, or a portion of the government, obviously, will see something on Twitter, and then somebody will email Elon Musk and say, "Can you take that down, please?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that shouldn't be a thing that happens.
No.
And we don't want KAOS to act that way, is what I was trying to clarify.
No,
we're staying away from any kind of echo chamber system.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole point of the entire system, is to try to get away from any kind of censorship. Everything should be allowed on there. But people should be very careful about what they put up there, because there will be a history of this, and so you want to curate your own image on the system, and you want to be careful about what you say. So, because it's there'll be a history of it. And
I almost feel like that's too complicated.
Huh?
I almost feel like that's too complicated.
Well,
how do you feel?
Yeah, I don't see why it's complicated.
Well, maybe I'm just not understanding the format of it, but it almost seems like are we processing, building another Facebook or Twitter or social currency repository?
It's basically a repository, and that's all. So that we don't there is no everybody.
No value.
Yeah,
There's no weighted value.
There's no weighted value at all, and so it's up to the different methods that you use to access the data. So if you're using Grok, then Grok is going to try to curate that data in a way that Elon Musk think is the right way to do it. He's the one that's building Grok, and he's the one that's going to be influencing how it gives you the data. Now, it's up to you, though. You can go to ChatGPT or use one of the other AI sources to go through this data, and it'll give you a different view. But the point, the main point here is that all these systems are grabbing the same data from the same source, and therefore you could compare them. You can look at how Grok looked at it, and you can look at how ChatGPT looked at it, and look at. So now it's up to you to do this type of thing, to figure out how they're twisting the information. So
the point is, the system KAOS is not filtering any data.
Yeah.
Which is opposite of what Facebook, Twitter, and all those do. They choose how to filter data, how to show it to the user. In the KAOS case, the user chooses by, of course, they can't do it manually with their own brain by itself. They choose an AI, or whether it's an old system AI or the newer systems, that the famous ones you're hearing now. And the point is, it's the third parties that are filtering, and not KAOS that is filtering.
That's right. So now it's up to you to pick the right way to compare these different systems, so you can get a better idea how they're twisting the information for you. And now I'm hoping that there will be in the market of free market of different systems, that people will want the cleanest system, the least bias, and all these different systems are going to hopefully are going to be advertising. We're going to twist the information less than anybody else. We are going to, give you the most cleanest, least biased information from the KAOS system. And so hopefully we get some competition that way to not be, screwing with the data and, and making a very, very biased sources of ways to get to it. Yeah, Rami, go ahead.
There's another element to what Brian is saying. It's not just one dimension. Are you less biased or more biased? We will treat the AIs the same way we treat humans. So, look, for example, I have like a top 10 list of smartest people in the world that are alive today. Okay, but I also know that one of those people is biased on one topic. So I listen to him on the other topics, and I recognize that bias in that one topic for that one person. We'll have the same thing with AIs, I think.
That's right.
So like Grok, he mentioned, if I'm using KAOS with Grok in between, I might have the same thing. Oh, Grok is good on topics in general, but as soon as it hits this topic X, Y, and Z, it's retarded. And so I will, for example, use Grok for one set of topics and use another AI for that other set.
Yeah.
And so on. You don't have to use just one.
I like to, yeah, you're exactly right, Rami. And I like to say, yeah, it's exactly like you're saying. I have my own friends and family. And so it's exactly the same as you've always worked things in the past. In the past, before any electronics were around, you know that your certain family members are biased in certain ways and certain friends are biased in certain ways. You have certain friends that you will go talk to about relationships. And then you have certain friends that you will talk to about politics. And you'll have certain friends that, so you're going to do the same thing with the AIs. You're going to know that certain ones are far better to talk about relationships, and another one's going to be far better to talk about politics, and another one's going, and then once in a while you're going to switch it up a little bit just to make sure that you have the right idea of how those things are thinking.
Because people change.
Biases.
Because people change. So you
people
that
change.
one uncle, because that one uncle who you saw as biased on X, Y, and Z, 10 years from now it will be a different X, Y, and Z. You know, they might have improved or gotten worse in some areas. So the same thing will happen with the AIs.
Yeah.
Actually, the AIs might even do it more.
Yeah.
You know, because Grok could switch on a dime if they change some of the programming. A human mind doesn't switch on a dime like that.
That's right. Yeah. But yeah, I like to say, I like to say that we're going to work it the same way we've always worked it, by taking every bit of information you get with a grain of salt. But that grain of salt is tailored to the different sources that you're getting the information from. Right. And that's the way you've always worked, how you absorb information in the past. And now it's just going to be the same thing using AIs like they're people, you know?
And see, another thing about KAOS in general, when it comes to like the website and that, I am not setting up an algorithm process. You come in, you see everything as it's posted. There's no setting up, oh, well, I just want to hear from this person, or I just want to hear about this problem. You're going to get everybody's information. There is no algorithms that they're selecting what you see.
Yeah, but the AIs will do that. They will go, I want to only hear from these people. The AIs will do that themselves. I only want to hear from these people, or I only want to hear from these people, or they're going to be sorting that. But the KAOS system will not be doing that at all. Yeah.
Go ahead, Steven.
Go ahead, Steven.
So KAOS is basically, we're looking at this as an open source control group to plug in to whatever kind of AI or technology analytics that you have available to you.
Everything will happen. Yeah.
It's a database of opinions, and third parties make like a UI for it with their own filtering mechanisms.
No, it sounds like you're building a control group. Like
a control group.
Like science against a variable.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. That is exactly how Brian has explained it.
Yeah, it'd be like your AI or your data cruncher is your variable, whereas KAOS knowledge is we are an open source input system for a living control.
Yeah,
exactly. A control group. Yes.
Okay. All right, that makes sense to me. I like that. Honestly,
yeah, I mean, I've heard Brian say it like this, like, you know, since KAOS is one set of data, you can use two different AIs to filter data from it and compare the results.
Right.
Where with any of the systems today, you can't do that.
No.
Yeah, because they're all working from different data.
Different data.
And that's why we need to separate the data from the sources or the different mechanisms that are trying to analyze it. There's a separation there.
The same logic that we don't want to filter, we also don't want to delete before it goes up into the.
Yeah.
No.
It's the same thing. On both ends, we need to not be filtering and not be deleting from the start.
There's no censorship whatsoever.
None. Yeah.
None. The only time there will be censorship is if there is doxing.
Yeah.
Definite hate speech, like someone straight out calling someone. Pardon my vernacular here, but calling them a nigger or a gook or something like that. You know, treat these people with human.
We haven't decided on that one, but it sounds like something we would agree on together.
But no, the way I described it in the website, and the way I think we're going to do this is that we're just going to follow the laws that the different countries have different. Every country has their own laws about what you can say and stuff like this. So we'll follow those laws. But some countries, some places in the world, we will be allowed to have all the data. So in China, people working with with KAOS in China, the Chinese government's only going to allow us to. They're going to force us to delete certain things, right? And certain bits of like in Tiananmen Square, right? They're not going to allow us to put any information about Tiananmen Square on the KAOS site. So if people are talking about Tiananmen Square, we're going to have to edit that stuff. But those same people talking about Tiananmen Square from China, entering it into the system, we just edit it from that database that's in China. And so we'll go in. We'll have separate servers around the world. So somewhere in the world, there will be all the opinions that all come in from anywhere. And we only censor it for that one country. So now somebody in China, though, if he can use a fake VPN or contact somebody in another country and say, can you look this up for me? He will have access to that data, even though it's not allowed in China. So that,
but that's on them.
And that's on them. This is the only way we can do it, because otherwise we won't be allowed to have our system in any certain countries, right? So we will have to follow the laws that different countries have, but we don't have to follow that laws on the servers that are in other countries. So there are some countries that don't have any of these laws. And so hopefully there will be at least a few servers that have all the information unedited, right? And it'll be up to the user then to find a way around their country's laws if they want to get access to that data. That's just the best we can do. I would love to say that everything will be unedited everywhere, but we just can't get away with that because every country has their own laws, right? Mm-hmm. So we have to follow.
So we're stripping our liability away for if we're not following censorship laws. Where now it's a case of, okay, you're a citizen of this country that has censorship laws. It's on you. If you go out of your way to get the information, that's all on you. It's not us. We just provide the information for other countries.
That's right. Yeah. So we will accept everything coming in, no matter where it's coming from. But in some countries, we won't be able to allow that information going out.
You got to gate it out. Okay.
Yeah. So that's where there is censorship on the KAOS side. But hopefully we'll have some data centers in the world that will have all the data. And people can get that data, but they'll have to find a way to get there. I hope that does that make
makes perfect sense. I think that's just off the top of my head. I feel like maybe it's not going far enough. There's got to be a way around where it's centralized information accessible to everybody. Because I mean, even in the description, you decide. Whereas if you're using a VPN, or say I call somebody from another country, say, hey, I need you to access this. Well, then you're forcing your liability upon them, and also the communication channel between those two secure points isn't viable. So, especially in a country like the United States or China or the UK, none of that is secure.
Yeah, well, the people are going to have to deal with that, though. That's the best we can do.
There are secure channels that are beyond. I mean, there's already infrastructure for something like that.
Yeah, so I can't tell what you're suggesting, but if you're making a suggestion that we improve something technology-wise that solves this, I'm curious to know. I just don't understand what you're saying yet.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I have some ideas. I'd have to talk to some programmer friends to know if it's possible or not. But
we need that kind of help, by the way.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get it.
I'm the only one doing anything with the technical side of all of this, really.
So. Yeah.
But so
any help I can get would be great.
We have talked to Rami's uncle, who has a lot of experience with large databases. So we have some good info from him.
He's a developer. He's been a developer since the 80s. So that's somebody worth talking to. But we need to talk to more people. There's a bunch of questions we don't have answers to.
Okay. So Ed, you're our tech guy. You're the data website developer.
I'm the one that controls the website, database, and all that currently.
Okay. And Rami,
I'm hoping to get a bigger team.
Yeah.
We'll work on that. I'm more of a community resilience organizer kind of guy. So I I don't have a lot of experience with AIs and things like that. And honestly, I got to pick up and figure out. I'm a people person. I'm a community guy. So I can talk to people and try to bring people into the group or into the fold. Offline, probably.
We need that. We need that. Brian does that for us now. I kind of tried to, but it doesn't really work. Maybe because I don't know a lot of people. I don't know. But I think you were asking what my involvement is. I was like the number 2 person here before Edward. Brian, I don't know, noticed me in some Reddit group, liked some of my ideas, and then he got me involved. I convinced Brian to let us start doing weekly meetings. We've been doing that every single Sunday, except for the Sundays we miss. For how long have we been doing it?
A year. It'll be a year. It'll be a year that
Yes.
Rami and I have been doing this. Well, I think it was about January, February last year.
Okay, so almost a year.
That's about right.
Yeah, and we've been slowly making progress. And then soon after, Edward came into the fold, and
I came in just as we started the first meeting.
And then our progress was a lot more. And we've had people like you on the call. And some of them even came on more than once. Some of them came on 2-3 times. Some of them came on maybe like 5 times. But then it kind of seems like we just have the 3 because none of them ever came back after a while. I don't know if they're still involved.
Yeah.
They're still in the email list. They still get the emails saying come to the meeting. We're hoping people get involved and stay involved, you know. And by the way, whoever's leaving, we'd like to know why so that we can fix something and improve on it or whatever.
Yeah. Well, not everybody has the time to come to these meetings all the time either, you know. And I think a lot of people are just kind of in the background waiting. And if everything starts to take off, they'll get more involved.
Yeah. But we need more involved parties.
Plus another thing I know we've got going against us is our time for the meetings, because we're pretty much in the middle of church. People going to church and that. So we're not reaching a larger contingency because they're sitting in a pew instead of in front of their computer. Mentioning about changing times, Rami, I think that would be beneficial.
To the Saturday 9 o'clock? That'll be better?
I think it would be.
I don't know, man. Maybe.
Steven, you just gave us a link. This is your website, I guess.
No? It's not mine, but I mean, one of the things we talked about at least a couple of times today is overlaps of ideology. But there's also what you see when in all these organizing things is there's also a lot of and that ideology overlap leads to duplication of resources and waste of resources. No Small Act is an organization that I am a part of that addresses that and tries to communicate between like Iron Front and 5051 and all these other things. It's a national program, at least in the United States, and it's broken down through communication chains through state and county levels. So as far as like other activism, it's a great thing, but I think as far as like what we want to get the word out about, everyone that we come in contact with also getting involved in that, trying to cover that spread and reduce duplicate resources, if that makes sense.
So this is only U.S. though?
I'm not sure. I know it's in the U.S. because that's where I'm at, but
I noticed something about Switzerland in here, but that's just servers.
Okay. Connecting people in 3,244 counties across the United States, we're uniquely positioned to accomplish a heart-centered change we need. What do we do with connection? We work as one to amplify our impact, create our own systems, and divest from oppressive ones, protect each other through support around ICE raids, protests, strikes, bail funds, care for each other via time banks, mutual aid, boycotts, and gift economies. So what I've put there is just like the homepage, and you can find your community or sign up if you're interested, but at least that's information. And I think for what we're doing here, and really what every citizen of every country needs to be doing, is coming back to community. And, we don't, having a database, an open source database of our opinions and our ideologies is great, especially to, as a control to put through these tools that the powers that be have gifted us or provided to us out of convenience and their bleeding hearts. I think there also has to be the human analog interaction for it to stand off, because people need to come to these meetings. People need to be engaged in the conversations or the information.
I mean, this is like networking.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's networking in a kind of more narrow.
It's networking in an activist sense at a community level, but it is nationally organized. So if you care about hunger or homelessness and ICE, but you don't want to spread your time because you have this like indecision, kind of like what do they call that? I don't know. Kind of frees up from having to make a choice. What's most important to me? Well, this kind of gives you that opportunity to see where it overlaps and where the resources are overlapping together, and you can get involved. And so, if you get in there and you meet some people in your local community who are a programmer or something else like that, who are also interested in the things you're interested in or that are important to you, like freedom of speech or direct democracy or whatever, immigration protections, whatever, choose the thing that's important to you. Where I think something like this already has the infrastructure for us to utilize so that we can get more people into here and to keep bringing into reunite a global community.
I like that.
Yeah, I'll look into it. I copied the link, and I'll take a better look at it afterwards.
Strongly recommend looking at
the link too.
Yeah, sign up for it, look at it.
Even if you can give me a description that can go in front of the link, and then I can put that whole thing as a comment and put it on the screen. Or if you put the comment yourself.
There you go. I'm going to take the tagline from the website and just put it here for you.
It has to be less than 200 characters. How much is this?
I don't know. I can't count to 20. I'm a graduate of Texas Public Education. I'll find something for you. But,
it's 247 characters right now.
Okay, well, I'll put something else later, but that's just for us right now. For the next meeting, I can be a little more prepared with some resources.
Oh, yeah. That works too.
Yeah, we don't need to throw everything out there right now, but I
we don't.
That as we're talking about all these things, this kept coming up in my mind. So, and I'm
going to put it in the comments anyway, even though it's going to be broken up. But we'll do it again next time with a better one comment.
Yeah. I think it's a good tool. Of course, everyone can look at it without having any kind of obligation. You don't have to do anything. And then the cool thing that's been really good that was good for me was that after you click the links and you've gone through your applications, there are vetting teams who are going through like Google, your YouTube, your Facebook, everything. They're making sure that nobody is like Scooby-Doo Nazi. So like taking bad faith actors out of it, probably specifically bots for a lot of it, but make sure these are real people that we're interacting with. And then you get plugged into your state, you get plugged into your county, and you get plugged into voting districts if you want to, depending. You can go all the way down in the weeds if you want, or you could stay just national organizations if you want. It's a complete buy-in. And I think that's probably one of the issues we will run into with the KAOS system is the same thing you said. What was it? Norway or Sweden?
Yeah.
What's the incentive to provide this input? We know what the incentive is on social media. It's a dopamine. You get likes, you get you get comments.
Dopamine rush.
this rush. And so now you're looking at your phone every 30 seconds for new notifications because that goes ding, and you're like, oh, Pavlovian response. I'm going to look and I'm going to get that feel good. Boy. So that's what I think that's what KAOS would be missing from the front is what's the incentive?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think there are incentives there, but they're not the same. It's not going to be the same type of thing.
No, of course.
Yeah. In the future, Stephen, I think maybe you can look at how your mic system is working or something along that line. I have a hard time understanding you.
Sorry.
No, that's okay, but maybe look into it. I'm just using a cheap. I don't know how I come across. Do you guys hear me very well?
Oh yeah, you're coming across nice and clear.
Yeah, I just have a cheap headset here, you know, that I buy at the gas station or whatever, with the headphones. And anyway, I do find you to be. I'm having a hard time understanding what you're saying sometimes. So maybe we could work on that and get that a little better. I'm going right now. I do everything on my phone. I don't have a good internet connection, so mine tends to cut in and out once in a while. You guys freeze up every once in a while, and I'll lose a little bit that way. But I live out in the country here, and so we have a pretty shitty internet. But I'm looking forward. The guys are working on it right now. I was watching the equipment just down the road from me. They're putting in fiber optics. So I'm hoping to have a fiber optic connection here maybe in the next few months, maybe by, I don't know, early next year, hopefully. I'm not sure when it's going to happen, but I'm looking forward to it. And so I'll be able to get a better connection myself too. But
and then maybe anyway, we can get you on your computer.
Yeah, get me on my computer and have my phone free. Yes. Yeah.
I love that the leader of our group is functionally off the grid.
Yeah. I'm kind of, yeah. It's a shitty connection that I have here. So I'm doing everything through my phone right now. It gets a better connection than anything else.
By the way, logistically, I don't know why I'm throwing this in now. These meetings, we're trying to run them in a democratic way. It should make sense, right? And we learned about this thing called Robert's Rules of Order, which apparently everyone uses in meetings as a democratic way of holding a meeting. We're not, and there's variations of it too, and so each little group might have a little bit different set of rules. But the idea is to run a meeting in a democratic way, and so like raising your hand to speak, that's part of it. Doing things like having I motion that we discuss X. Somebody else has to say I second that motion. If no one seconds it, it dies on arrival. Those kind of things is I think what we should be doing. We just did it without
hard to do with three people.
The whole meeting. What is it?
Yeah.
Kind of hard to do it with three people.
Yeah. As we get bigger, we're definitely going to have to do that.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, I need to cut this short today.
Okay.
I've still got a lot of things I've got to get caught up on from this past week.
Yes. All right.
Rami, no, Brian.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Steven.
Okay, well, it's good to meet you, Edward.
Yeah. Good to meet you too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I got to cut this short. Just to let you know, I just lost my son this last week.
Yeah.
He was 18 years old.
Yeah.
So it's been a rough week for me and my wife, and we're really leaning on each other a lot and everything. So it's kind of put me in a tailspin, for lack of a better way to put it. You know, you're not supposed to lose your children. Their children are supposed to lose you.
Yeah.
So it's been hard on us. But I do want to thank you for coming in, Stephen. I appreciate all your input, and I look forward to hearing more of your input.
Sure.
But I do need to back out.
Yeah.
In the chat. You text me for anything, Edward, okay?
You bet. You feel free. You've got my email with your link request. It's the Papa Shrek.
Papa Shrek.
Feel free to reach out to me with any questions or anything you've got. I mean, I'm pretty much easy to get a hold of. Brian, you were going to say something?
Family.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good one, guys.
All right. Thanks, Edward.
You bet. Bye.
Yeah. I also want to get going. I got some things to get started for today.
Okay.
We'll see you next week, though, Stephen.
Absolutely, I enjoyed it.
All right. So we'll cut this off, and we'll all get together next week then, hey guys?
Yeah, I'm gonna invite another Marine friend of mine. I think he's gonna be a good.
Yeah.
And he's up in Wisconsin, so he's kind of got the Northern American context.
Yeah. All right. That's gonna be great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring it on. Yeah, I mean, we don't have a problem with having too many people yet. When that is a problem, we will say something different, but we don't have that problem.
Okay.
One other, I just want to mention that some, I have brought a few kind of, just a little while ago, I brought somebody in that had a different idea on how to change, how to influence the world and like a different idea than the KAOS system. And we will welcome anybody that has other ideas and they want to discuss them. There we should have used Robert's rule of order though, because we did get out of order quite a bit. We were kind of butting heads, him and I, a fair bit. And
No, not he wasn't saying about you, Stephen. He was talking about that other guy at that other meeting.
Yeah.
If you want to see it, I think it's the last live stream we had, or the one before that. And
so.
it was getting adversarial is all.
I'd like to see how that went.
Yeah, but we'll hear from anybody. We're willing to hear from anybody. People have other ideas. We're more than happy to hear about them.
More clearly, if we find out some other team is doing basically what KAOS is trying to do, but they're further along than us and they got a better, we'll quit this and join them. That's
I think if it does exist, you're going to find it there in that no small acts. The deeper we get into the weeds trying to make connections, we're going to find where this is or who has it or if it is completely novel for Brian.
Yeah.
And I think it is. I haven't heard of it.
No, I've been looking for 20 years now, trying to find something. And, my biggest thing though, I'm not willing to work on any other project unless it's separating the data from the analyzing of the data. To me, that's the biggest feature here that makes a big difference in keeping everything on the up and up and being trustworthy.
That and no deleting of the data before it gets in.
Yeah,
those two main features.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, then we'll see you guys on Saturday.
Yep.
Are we doing Saturday?
I don't know. I thought. Well, so
we haven't finalized anything there yet.
I haven't switched it yet. We've been talking about switching, and I'm happy to switch whenever you guys want.
Today. Okay, my bad.
Let's keep it on Sunday. Let's bring this up next Sunday, and maybe we'll switch it then.
I forgot today was Sunday. That was my mistake.
That's all right.
All right.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Enjoy your week, guys.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye.